What's up, people? Welcome to another episode of Sports and Superheroes. So 47. We about to hit 50 soon. Join us for this ride. But if you didn't know and you're new, this is the podcast where we talk about sports and superhero entertainment news from the past week and throw our opinions on things that we enjoy and love to talk about. I am one of your hosts. I do the superheroes. Marcus, go ahead and let the people know what you do.
I'm sitting like this the whole episode, dog. Don't let us win Sunday. Don't let us win Sunday. Don't
Marcus
let us
is
win Sunday.
clearly on a high right now.
Hey, motherfucker. Sorry. Sorry for cursing.
Williams,
People, I didn't say it. I didn't say it. I said mother. I said mother. I didn't say it. People has been talking crap all week. I don't even say anything. I just walk in the room, start with me. I don't say nothing. But Barbara's talking crap. I was like, this is not fair. I can't set her back. I don't want you to push my hairline back. It's not fair. But yes, I'm excited for this weekend. I do the sports. I do the sports. Yeah.
Understandable. I get why you're excited. Your team is on a roll right now, showing out, showing up. Yeah, it's always good to hear.
The whole NFC, not just the North, the whole NFC.
Understandable. But yes, like we were saying, we talk about the news. If you haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe, hit that like button, and go ahead and share the podcast to your friends, your family, and even some of your enemies. You might hate them, but that don't mean they shouldn't enjoy good content. As always, you can leave us a voice message link down below. Just click it, and then you leave like a minute long voice message. Talk about sports, superheroes, or anything in between. As long as there's no weird stuff, we'll probably answer that question. But with that all out the way, let's just jump into it. Marcus, go ahead and hit him with that first story.
I got a question before we start though.
Go ahead.
How was your holidays, sir? I haven't seen to talk to you
Holiday?
since the last
Ooh,
episode.
yeah, yeah. Holiday was good. I ate good.
Good.
I didn't really get to enjoy my full weekend because we got snow. So I was
Yep.
working pretty much the whole weekend because we got more than a almost a foot of snow. So
Okay.
it was a lot of snow. So I was doing a lot of work. So
Yeah, it was
restless
it was
days.
it was wet and heavy. That snow was. I had to do
Yeah.
a I had to do a little bit of shoveling. So no.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I
Yeah.
mean,
How was
it's just
yours?
I was chill. I didn't do nothing Thursday, just chill. Friday did some shopping. Uh, yeah, and then Saturday pretty much snowed in. Sunday, I just played Black Ops all weekend. It was double point weekend.
Okay.
So I'm actually glad it snowed because they gave me a reason to stay in the house and play video games all day. So yeah, it was
Okay.
good.
That makes
Yeah.
sense. That makes sense.
All right.
Okay.
Well, you guys might think I'm a star with the number one team in NFC right now, but I'm not. Uh, we gonna talk about Chris Paul. Now, the craziest thing is, I did research on this story probably at least a week ago, but I didn't do it. I did today. It ended up being a perfect day to do it. So, like last week, it was announced that Chris Paul, a 12-time All-Star and a 2006 Rookie of the Year, is going to retire after this season. This is his 21st season.
Oh.
Uh, he is known as the point guard, and is the active leader in assists and steals, second all time behind John Stockton. CP3 was drafted in 2005. He played for the Hornets, Clippers, Rockets, and a host of other teams like OKC, San Antonio Spurs last year, and then back with the Clippers this year. His first stint in the Clippers, they had the Lob City era going. That's when they had Blake Griffin,
Hmm.
DeAndre Jordan. They had, I think, probably one of the best six men ever, Jamal Crawford. Could have been a starter, should have been a starter on a lot of different teams. They had a good teams, but could never make it to the finals. Uh, yeah. CP3, yeah, like I say, he's a 12-time All Star, 11-time member of all NBA teams, 9-time All Defensive Team, 2006 Rookie of the Year, and a member of the 75th anniversary team. Uh, as I mentioned before, CP3 is the second all time in assists with 12,532. John Stockton is number one with 15,806 assists.
Hmm.
And then CP3 is all time second in steals with 272. John Stockton is at the top of the list with 3,265. And then CP3 is the Clippers franchise leader in total assists and steals per game. So, man, this morning I get up for my day. I see I got a notification. It was announced early this morning that Chris Paul has been more or less cut from the Clippers.
Oh,
Like,
really?
21 games into the season. Chris Paul's abrupt departure from the Clippers stems from ongoing clashes with Coach Ty Lue and the team's management, and it's not an isolated incident. Uh,
Mm.
it said his leadership style was deemed disruptive. Uh, if anyone watch basketball or watch Chris Paul, he's that guy that's coaching everybody. You need to go
Hmm.
there, do this play. He's one of those guys,
He being a point guard.
right? And you know, I don't think these young players like really go for that these days. Got an old head
Yeah.
telling them like, "Hey, you need to be here on this play. You need to be here at this time." Like he's one of those dudes who coaches everybody. Um, President Lawrence Frank confirmed multiple conversations led to the decision, which committed to Paul in an emotional late night meeting. So they just played in Miami the other night, and then they flew down to Atlanta, and Chris Paul had a conversation with President of Basketball Operations, Lawrence Frank, and then that's when they came to the decision that Chris Paul should leave the team.
Jesus.
Uh,
Leave the team.
yeah, Frank
That's aggressive.
Frank emphasized that this was a difficult but necessary decision for the team's best interest, not a scapegoat for their poor record, and that Lou's position as coach is secure. Uh, then they also said Chris Paul wasn't speaking to uh, Tyrone Lue for several weeks before he comes.
Mm.
Ty Lue is the coach of the Clippers. So they weren't even on speaking terms.
Mm.
Lawrence Frank put out a statement saying, "We are parting ways with Chris, and he will no longer be with the team. We will work with him on the next step of his career. Chris is a legendary Clipper who has had a historic career. I want to make one thing very clear. No one is blaming Chris for our underperformance. I accept responsibility for the record we have right now. There are a lot of reasons why we're struggling. We're grateful for the impact Chris has made on the franchise." And just to give you a context of their record, the Clippers has lost 14 of their past 16 games, including five straight, and are currently 5-16. And finally,
Mm.
by them, the Clippers cutting CP3. The Clippers would have to waive him and pay out his 3.6 million salary, agree to a buyout, or look to trade him, which they could execute until December 15th. So, yeah, kind of
Mm.
sucky way for Chris Paul to
Yeah.
go out if he
For him
doesn't
to
play
go
for
out.
another team,
Yeah.
saying that
Yeah.
he went back to the Clippers this season for this to be his last season, to go out the league as a Clipper because of what he did in the time when he played for the Clippers the first time. Just unfortunate. I wish you would have stayed in San Antonio with Wemby and those
Yeah.
young guys to help get them going. Because San Antonio, Wemby stays healthy, and that young team that they have down there, I see them and OKC battling every year in the Western Conference. So yeah, shout out to CP3. He's had an amazing career. I remember you remember his State Farm commercials.
Yeah, I remember the State
Clutch
Farm
Paul
commercials.
with the mustache. Yeah, yeah,
He's having a ball with those. I mean,
yep,
it does suck to hear um him retire in this way.
yep.
You would want him to retire in a different type of way, like most amazing players retire in a totally different way. They don't do it like this under this kind of scrutiny, which sucks.
Agreed.
But I understand what the team is doing to an extent, but still, y'all could have. Well, who did he start with? Who did he get drafted by?
Charlotte Hornets, which turned into the New Orleans Hornets.
Or
But
yeah,
no, no, no. Wait,
New Orleans
there,
Pelicans,
there,
right?
there, no. There was the New Orleans Hornets when he got drafted. Wait,
Okay,
no, no, wait. Yeah, because then when Katrina hit, then they moved over to Oklahoma during Katrina, and then essentially that's how Oklahoma City got a team because the NBA saw that there's a good fan base down there.
okay.
And then speak to everybody from Seattle. Their fans, those Seattle Supersonics, they'll say the NBA stole the Seattle Supersonics from
Let's not get
Seattle
into this battle again.
and moved them down to Oklahoma. So,
Okay,
yes.
okay. I would have liked them like, hey, let's open a trade door to them so he can get traded to them for a week or a month, and then he can retire with his team he was drafted with. I think that would have been a good. Has he won a championship?
No.
No. Okay.
He's been to the finals once when he was with Phoenix, and that's when the
Hmm.
Bucks won their championship.
Okay.
That's what
Yeah.
gets him his good.
Yeah. You would like to see him go back to his original team that drafted him and retire there. That would have been nice. In my eyes, I say. Other people
Hey,
might feel differently.
it took a second, but I understand what you meant when you said let's not go down that road again with the
Go
Seattle. I,
check out our TikTok. You'll see it on there.
hey, I have a quick basketball question for you.
Okay.
Because my other two topics has nothing to do with basketball, so I need to get this question in now. All right, I don't know. Say you're because you coach basketball, right?
Yeah.
Say you're coaching basketball, and uh, one of your players, one of your star players, let's say you have two superstars on your team, right? And one of your supposed superstar players is at the other end of the court talking to the opposing team's bench, right?
I
And you're the
seen this
coach,
today.
and you're trying to call it a play, and you yelling this guy's name, and he's just not paying you any attention. He's just over there talking, cheesing, smiling, and you're trying to call the play. You're calling his name. The point guard is like, "Hey, coach, what we running?" The guard is getting frustrated because he can't get the play to the point where you got to call a timeout because he over there fraternizing with the opposing team bench. Not only that, you're down by 20. Not only that, it's only the end of the third quarter, so you still got the hope for you can make a comeback.
Yeah.
How would
Did
you
they?
feel?
How bad did they lose that game, or how
Oh
bad did they
yeah,
lose that
yeah.
game?
They lost that game. They lost the game. I don't know how bad they lost. I have to look that part up. But as a
I
coach,
mean, for one, you're not talking about just an all star. You're talking about Hall of Famer. He's gonna be in the Hall of Fame. There's no question about that. So that's a different, even caliber of question, knowing that this is gonna be a easy Hall of Famer with no first ballot Hall of Famer, no hesitation there. Um, and arguably one of the greatest players in basketball right now.
Man, we take
And
all that shit don't matter. All that shit don't matter. As a coach, how
as a
would you
coach,
feel?
as a
How would you
coach,
feel your player? We can skip all this Hall of Fame, supposed greatest player, all that BS. As a coach, you're trying to call a play, and this guy is over there giggling and cheesing with the opposing bitch, and y'all down by 21 points.
he on his
And you
farewell
can't
tour
and
right
you
now.
gotta waste the timeout because he's over there doing what he's doing instead of paying
Understandable.
attention to the game.
Understandable.
Hey,
Understandable.
you
I would be upset. I will put him on the bench 100%. Put him on the bench 100% and yell at him 100%. What are you doing? Um, yeah, I would do all that 100%. As a coach,
I
you got to nip that in the bud. Uh,
I, I just want to say, and I'm gonna leave it at this. My goat would never do that. Ever. Never.
I'm
My
just
goat.
saying.
There's levels. There's levels to this. There's levels. Okay. There's levels.
Yes,
Don't you
but also your goat nobody really want to hang out with.
I
Your
don't
goat,
care. Hey,
this goat, everybody loves him to an extent, and he's his name rings differently than your goat. That's all I'm saying. I have
right.
no dog in this fight though. I have no dog in
My
this fight like them both.
my okay, you're right. They do ring different bells. The guy you're talking about, the bell he rings is like this. Okay. Like you can barely see that shit. All right. The bells that my goat rings, it's the shit they ring in Philadelphia with the hammer. Boom, boom. I told you, there's levels. Okay, there's levels.
All right.
I wish God was here for this. There's levels. Okay, all right. That's it.
Okay.
I took
Well,
up a lot of time. I'm sorry.
speaking of levels, the word is that they have narrowed down the casting for Brainiac. And apparently, we will be very much surprised by the names that are been narrowed down to that will possibly play Brainiac in Man of Tomorrow. Yes, it is James Gunn's sequel to Superman that he is writing. He has been on X or Twitch. Why did I say Twitch? No, what is it? Twitter. He's been on Twitter posting like storyboards. He's posted a couple of the scripts, like draft one, draft two, certain things. He posted some brain looking sketch or picture alluding to Brainiac. So he's really ramping up people to be excited for this movie, letting them know it's coming, still working on it, all that good stuff. This will be the first live action movie with Brainiac in it. Like this would be his first appearance in a live action movie. He's been in TV shows. He's been in multiple TV shows, animated movies as well. But this would be his first live action movie on screen, first time. So very excited. It's a very huge Superman villain. So it's not surprising he went with this, but being Superman's second film, this is a big villain to go first. To go second. Usually we get your regular villain Lex Luthor, sometimes Doomsday. Uh, who was the villains? We get other Kryptons. I'm blanking on the other Kryptons names that he fought in the one movie. Dang it, it'll come to me. Mostly you fight other Kryptonians, but people to his power scale. But with Brainiac, it's a mental battle to an extent, but that also becomes physical. Brainiac learns to use certain things against Superman down the road, so it's gonna be very interesting. Um, Marcus, you do know you we've talked about Brainiac. You know kind of who Brainiac is, what kind of villain he
I
kind of
I
is, right?
don't. I'm starting to Google it right now because I don't know who this guy is. I was
Okay,
going to ask
so
you. I was going to ask you, and you started describing him a little bit. I'm like, okay, I'm like, but I need to see a picture of this guy. I don't know who he
So
is.
there's multiple different versions of him within comics. Sometimes he's been rebooted in a certain way. Sometimes he is a AI program from Krypton that becomes sentient and develop his own body and wants to take over the world or destroy the world. And then sometimes he's an Earth AI program. Sometimes he's an actual scientist that got hit with some rays or something and altered his mind. So there's different versions, and there's multiple different Brainiacs too within comics. So he copies and recreates himself too. So it's Brainiac has a long standing history as a villain and sometimes a good guy. So that's really interesting with that character in itself.
He gotta
But
pick a
it's
side. Sorry, he gotta pick a
I
side.
understand that. I mean, but that's the big thing about comics to have a bad guy become a good guy or a good guy become a bad guy because it's a very interesting way to tell a story of a character and flip it on its head and kind of reinvent that character. So and then you get them a whole new costume, a different color scheme, and then you can sell toys on that. So that's what they love it. They love doing that. So I understand.
I
Um,
guess because I mean, some people would argue that Thor, isn't that right?
yeah,
Mr. That he wasn't really
with
a
the
bad guy.
hammer.
You're like, no, not Thor. What's his face? Snap the fingers, man, with the Infinity Stones.
Oh, Thanos.
Thanos. Some argue that Thanos wasn't really a bad guy. Like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
oh,
yeah, yeah.
oh,
I get what they're saying, but you also could have used the Infinity Stones to ask for infinite resources. You didn't have to kill people. You could have asked for infinite resources for everybody to be able to share.
hey,
Uh,
Thanos, like, fuck them niggas. They gotta go. I'm not. I don't rock with them like that. Like, nah, they're
clearly,
not good.
clearly,
Yeah.
he felt death. So the real they changed his reason for wanting to get the Infinity Stones in the MCU, but in the comics, the reason he wanted to kill everybody was because he was in love with Death, and he wanted to please Death. Death was like an actual
Mm,
character, and she was a woman, and he was in love with her, and so he wanted to
oh,
kill the universe for her. So that's
this
his whole thing. Yeah.
kind of sounds like somebody else we was talking about before the podcast. I don't
True.
know. I don't know.
That
We'll leave that
and
alone
that's
though.
a yeah, understandable. We probably should. But also James Gunn has posted pictures of the Batman 2 and told them they will be doing outside filming for Gotham. So they're doing extinct I can't even that's not how that word's pronounced, so we're not even gonna try it. But they're shooting outside for the next couple months to do outside shots for Gotham. And James Gunn is very hands on with that. He wants the Batman 2 to succeed. And so he's helping make sure everything flows smoothly with that production and all of that. Who is it? What's the dude's name? Matt Reeves. Matt Reeves, who's directing and wrote Batman 1 and Batman 2. He's working with James Gunn, and they're trying to make sure they put out a very great sequel to the Batman movie. There's still rumors of there will be another Batman. So their rumors are saying besides Robert Pattinson, we will have a Batman for Superman in James Gunn's DC kind of universe, and Matt Reeves will keep his own Batman universe over there. So they will be separate. The rumors say that's going to happen, and then we have other rumors saying that they're going to pretty much combine together. So we still have to wait and see. I think the real test is going to be how the Batman 2 does. If it flops, I can see them pulling it over to Superman's universe and them melding together. If it does really good, I can see them keeping it separate. That is one of the things people hated about DC was how they had so much separation between their movies and television division, they had so many multiple levels of heroes. So they had a Flash in the movies, and then they had a Flash on TV. They had a Batman in the movies and a Batman on TV. They hated that because Marvel didn't do that. The same superhero you had in the movies was the same superhero you had on the TV show. Same character and everything. Of course, they had a couple people they recast and did some stuff with, but ultimately everybody was the same in every facet. Will that hurt DC in the long run? I think it will, possibly, but I'm trying to have faith in James Gunn being able to pull it off and come at it at a different perspective. Because he's already using a lot of out there characters in his universes. So I think that's going to give it a little more legs and make it a little more interesting. But yeah, looking forward to the Man tomorrow when that does come out because I really enjoyed the Superman movie. So I'm on board for the next Superman. But like I said, before we get that, we will get Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. Is it Woman of Tomorrow? I think that might be the title, or it might just be Supergirl. We'll see. But we're going to get that first. That's going to be next DC project. And hopefully, we should be getting a trailer next week. That's why a lot of news today is kind of light because they're holding a lot of their stuff for trailers next week. So next week is going to be a crazy podcast if we got those trailers like we've been rumored to get. So stay tuned for that.
Hmm. All right. Know if you remember a few episodes ago, we were talking about athletes, money, college kids, and money, and how you don't really have money, then all of a sudden you have a lot of money, and you're young, and you know
Yep.
backup careers and all that. You remember that?
Yep.
All right. So now we're going to talk about that again. In a recent episode of the Pivot, OBJ detail how taxes and expensive can quickly consume a 5 year, $100 million NFL contract,
Mm.
reducing the annual take home pay to a fraction of the gross amount. His, man, yeah. So he noted that a $100 million deal over 5 years can be reduced to around $60 million after taxes. This leaves players with only about $12 million per year before other significant expenses are accounted for. Uh, he describes how he spends on items like cars and houses for family members, and these costs add up quickly. He gave an example of spending 4 million annually, which would mean an 8 million yearly income for 5 years from the after-tax amount, posing a challenge to creating lasting generational wealth. And then his main point was that he and other athletes were not taught financial literacy, leaving them unprepared to handle large sums of money and make it last. And yeah, so I I don't know. So I would like to believe that, well, I know for sure now because I'm older now, but I would like to believe at a young age that I can make 100 because, like you said, depending on where you are, it says 100. Your contract says 100 million, but you're definitely not getting 100 million. And depending
Yeah.
on
Yep. Yep.
where
Yep.
you play, like if you're in New York or California, that money get taxed like crazy.
True. True.
So
True.
let's say 160
I
million.
still, I, I still got
I would
called
like to
bullshit.
believe I would like to believe at that young age I can make 60 million go for a while. I would like to believe
Yeah.
that
I
at
would.
that young age.
I'm likely calling bullshit on that, my man's. Just cause, just cause, even at a young age, you went to college. You went to college, so you had a chance to learn some of this stuff. Like I get it. I get it. You might not be peak financial literacy when you first start. Cool. That first year, yeah, you gonna blow some stuff. 100%. But he literally said what, 60 million for
Yeah,
5 years?
yeah,
If you couldn't make 60 million, not only last, but invest it properly and at least have it increase, that means you was just effing that off. That's on you. I'm sorry. At no point did you, because you on a team full of other people who are making that kind of money, and I'm sure someone was like, "Hey, you need to do this, or you need to make sure you do this. You need to get you a counter that you can trust and have them funnel your money to certain places." Because there's no way you're not getting this kind of information from your teammates. There's no way. I'm
I I,
sorry.
I would like I don't obviously we don't know. I know the NBA and I believe the NFL did like rookies have rookies go through like training
Hmm.
for stuff like that. I would also say what you said is feeds into one of my beliefs that I think should happen in the NBA or any professional league. I believe there should be a veteran on every professional team to help guide the younger players.
True.
And then at that point, it's up to the younger players whether they decide to listen or not. But I think
True.
there should be a veteran on every professional team to help with the younger players. Um, and then to say, I agree with you, but I also see where he's coming from. Because when you come from nothing, and then all of a sudden you got all this money, and you're young, right? So
Hmm.
think of a young you, a 18, 19, 20 year old you. Now think of yourself now. You think if you yourself now would talk to yourself at that young age that you would at that young age like gathered all that information
Be
and
able
and,
to do
and use
that.
it
Yeah.
because you're a young guy with a lot of money and all of us were a teenager and young at once. It was like we're having older people talk to us at that age. You're like you hear them, but you're not listening.
True.
Like you
True.
hear what they're saying, but you're not listening. So, and then especially when you come when there's no one in your family to give you educational money, because a lot of us in our community, our parents, like I can't, I'm not gonna speak for you. I'll speak for myself. My parents couldn't teach me about money and how to spend it and credit and all that because we
Yeah.
didn't have
Not
it.
that level of money. Not that
Right,
level of
right,
money.
right.
Yeah.
Not I'm not even talking. Forget even that level of money. I'm just talking about in general. Like they like their finances horrible, terrible, or they're not making enough anyway. I bless the dead, my favorite person in the world when she was on this earth. Thank God I have my grandma. I've lived in situations with my mom where no hot water, no electricity, living with roaches. Like she did the best she could to provide, but
Hmm.
when you grow up in those situations, like as a kid, you really don't know what's going on, understand it. But as an adult, you're like, well, she was working. Why we ain't got no, like once you become
Hmm.
grown and you have your own family, you provide. You like, well, I can provide for my family now. Things are more expensive now than it was back then. Like, what would you start? Again, I can't speak for you, but for me, I started questioning like, what was really going on? What were you doing? So, like I said, I understand where he's coming from because as a kid, even think about your first job. As a kid, you see that check, you know what you make in an hour. You try to
Yeah.
calculate it. Oh, like, oh, I work this many hours. My check's gonna be this, and then you look at it and you like taxes. What is this? Who is
But
what?
that he not even it's not even the
What?
taxes that's killing him though. That's
But
not
I'm
you
saying,
still the
but
amount
but
of money he has left over is a ridiculous amount of money that
but
most of us won't even get to see in a lifetime.
no, but what I'm saying is, you sign that contract like You think you're getting 100 million, or at least close to it. At 40 million, 40 million, it's just
That's
gone.
still a lot.
But no, 60 million is still a lot, but still 40 million.
Still
And
a
you just
lot.
came for no, you just came for nothing. You think you get 100 million, so like, oh, let me get this, let me get that, that. You're counting, you're spending money you don't even have yet because you think you're getting this amount because you
I give
don't
you that.
know. You
I give
don't
you that for
know.
the first 2 years. For the first 2 years, 100%. Third year, you have to realize and see, like, okay, I've been tripping. Like, I've been tripping.
So like,
I need to buckle down.
but you're still, I see both sides. You're still 21, 22.
True, true. You still young, and you
You
got
think that
that idea that you gonna be there forever.
right? You
Like,
think you're still that 60 million? You think that's still going to come? That's going to keep coming. NFL players, they have short careers. They don't have
very true.
Tom Brady playing at 40. That's unheard of. You don't see anything like that. LeBron playing at 40. It's unheard of. This is stuff you don't see. You think you're going to get money, the longevity, because one minute you hot after Odell made that one-handed catch against the Cowboys.
Yeah,
After that, he was hotter than fish grease everywhere. Endorsements, everything. You think that money's gonna keep happening? You think it's gonna keep coming in? Then you get
so
an
he
injury.
definitely had more than 60 million
Yeah, and
because
then and then you
that was just his NFL money. That wasn't even with his endorsements on top of that.
yeah, and then you have an injury, right?
Yeah,
So boom,
and all that
start
shit
taking hit.
dry up.
Right, you're not seeing no more. So I said I see, and then also you're that known. You're everywhere. You're the face. People see you everywhere. Now friends, family. Hey, won't you give me money so I can invest in this? Invest
Yeah,
in this. Like you said, invest in money. Yes, that sounds good and all, but you gotta be careful with that too, because you get scammed a lot. Like it's good to
true.
invest, but you gotta be careful with that too, because you get
Yeah, I
scammed
heard
on
a lot of
investments. So
NFL players get scammed with
yeah,
a lot of weird investments.
what was that 30 going for broke? 30 for
Yeah,
30 ESPN did many years ago. So I said I see both sides. 60 million is still a lot. But you got to think right now we're 40. You're like, there's no way in hell that you can trick off 60 million like that. And then also you got to think you try and live a certain lifestyle.
yeah.
You're the face, you're everywhere, right?
Trying to keep up with the Joneses.
Right. You're the face, you're everywhere. So now you gotta put like I'm not saying you got to, but you're the face. You gotta pull up and a McLaren, a Ferrari. You gotta have the nice chain. You gotta have the designer clothes because you're popping up at parties. Like it's
Gotta
easy
let
to
that shit go.
all I'm saying is it's easy to trick off. But yeah, I
It
agree.
is. It is.
At a
A
certain
certain
age,
point,
you like, hold on,
you gotta
I need to
see.
chill. I gotta chill.
You gotta
I'm not that
see.
person I was a year and a half, 2 years ago. I'm not getting that
Yeah,
kind of money. We gotta cut some stuff off. So
yeah,
that's all
yeah.
I'm saying.
Yeah. Well, I know. Did I see something? He might be signing with a team or something. I've
Yeah,
seen rumors of that.
he was suspended for the first part of the season. Now uh, he's clear and he can sign with the team now. Uh,
Okay.
yeah, yeah, he's been reinstated by the NFL.
So hopefully he can get back in there and pay them taxes off.
Yeah.
But speaking of somebody looking for new life, we have one of my favorite cartoons slash superheroes in a half shell, the Ninja Turtles. See what I did right there?
See what I
Yes,
did?
the Ninja Turtles. So there's been a big toss up with them lately. At one point, we had an announcement that they were going to do a R-rated Ninja Turtles. I
Okay.
believe it was animated. I don't think it was live action. I believe it was animated Ninja Turtles movie based on the comic book The Last Ronin. I'm not going to spoil that comic if you haven't read it. I didn't read it. I'm not gonna lie to you. I found out about who Set Turtle was, but it's basically a comic book where three of the other Ninja Turtles have died, and only one of them is left. And he goes on this crusade as the last Ronin, and he has all his brothers' bandanas and their weapons, and he's using them. And throughout the whole story, you don't know which turtle he is until towards the end. It seems like a very good story. I might read it one of these days, but they were talking about making a movie based on that, and it was going to be R rated. There was this little teaser trailer somebody did. I don't know if it was Paramount or Nickelodeon, but they did this little teaser trailer with this turtle and him crying over the many different weapons of the other brothers and vowing to get revenge or something like that. I thought that was going to be an awesome story to tell and to have it R rated. Definitely a new kind of experience for the Ninja Turtles, even though their first actual comic book was a little more gritty and mature. For them to go back to those roots, super cool to see. Unfortunately, that got canceled.
What?
Yes. So they announced they were doing it. They had started doing scripts for it and all that good stuff. And then they canceled it. They decided, no, we're gonna actually try to do another live action Ninja Turtles movie. We're gonna reboot it in a live action Ninja Turtle movie, and we're gonna make it more PG, family friendly, all that good stuff. They got the I think one of the script writers for the Sonic movie is going to be working on a new live action Teenage Mutant Turtles movie. And apparently, he's trying to do it real, not quick, but pretty soon because they want to have this movie out by 2028. So they're rebooting it. The funny thing is, their last animated movie that came out, Teenage Turtles Mutant Mayhem, which was a really good movie. I really dug it, thought it was really good, well done. They were supposed to have a sequel to that. I'm not sure if they're still doing a sequel to that. They had a TV show that was a spinoff of that did two seasons and then got canceled. Um, so I don't know if they're still going to do a sequel movie, knowing that they're trying to do this live action movie. I hope they do because that series needs to continue. It's really good. Um, but yeah, Marcus, you watched the Turtles when you were younger, right?
Yes. Watch the
Yes.
cartoon.
Okay. Yes.
Uh,
Yes.
I was gonna say something, but I don't remember everything, so never mind. No,
um,
I could because I saw something a while ago, a theory about the Ninja Turtles, but I don't quite remember it all, so I don't want to get into it and forget it and just be talking.
is it a
Something.
theory about how their weapons?
Uh, no.
Okay.
It
Okay.
was like a theory about April and the turtle and the Ninja Turtles themselves, but I don't remember. I thought it was kind of
Okay.
wild, or I would say I thought it was interesting when I was watching a video about it, but I don't remember what it was about. So
Okay, I might have to look up that because I'm interested in that myself. I know there's a theory about their weapons where um, Donatello has a stick because he's too technology based, and Master Splinter wanted him to simple down stuff and not try to put too much respect into or too much ownership into technology and learn to do stuff simply. Raphael is very aggressive, so he gave him defensive weapons to learn to be more calm because he has his sides are very defensive. They're the defensive weapon. They're not necessarily a offensive weapon. So he did that for that. Michelangelo was too goofy and off the wall, so he gave them nunchucks because nunchucks are like the hardest weapon to master. So it made him have to focus and be serious with the nunchucks. That's why. And then Leonardo, he gave him the swords because he wanted him to be a better leader and not kill. I might have got that one kind of mixed up. I think that's why. But it was very interesting concept somebody came up. I don't know if it's true or not, but it's cool little theory. Cool little theory. You can find it on the internet. But yeah, I am I sad to see the R-rated one go? Of course, that would have been amazing to see. Am I still excited to have another live action Ninja Turtles movie? Oh, 100% yes. I was a fan of the old school live action Ninja Turtle movie. I had it on VHS, watched it over and over again. I did not like the sequel as much, and I definitely didn't like that third one. But that first one was my shit. I watched it all the time. So, yes. And the new live action Ninja Turtles movies that came out a couple years back, they were okay. It was a great way to introduce my kids to them, and they were excited about them, but they weren't as good as the old movies. So it is what it is. But definitely excited to see more Ninja Turtles down the road, 100%. But yeah, let us know what you think about the cancellation and the upcoming live action in the comments down below.
All right. Well, gotta talk about them. Let's talk about the Bears. All right. So the Bears beat the Eagles on Friday, 24-15, to go 9-3 for the season, and they're the number one team in the NFC, not the NFC North, the whole conference NFC, 9-1.
Mhm.
So shout out to the Bears. This is their best start since the 2010 season when they also started 9-3. Um, let's see, Caleb Williams was 17 for 36 passing with 154 yards, one touchdown, and one interception. It was the run game is what did it for the Bears on offense. DeAndre Swift had 18 rushing attempts for 125 yards, and the rookie Cal had 22 rushing attempts for 130 yards. Defense played good too. As a unit, they had an interception and a forced fumble on a tush push. Like you never see Philly fumble the ball on a tush push. They stopped him, came there with the ball from Jalen Hurts. Also, the Eagles only had 87 yards rushing, which everyone was surprised because with Saquon back there, they was expecting a big running game from him,
Yeah.
and fans was also expecting the running game from Hurts as well. Didn't happen. Didn't happen, Captain. So this week, this Sunday, the Bears play the Packers at 3:30. For all you guys who know, it's a rival game. It's going to be up in Green Bay. With the Bears win, it helps keep them atop of the NFC and also put some space between them and the Packers. The Packers are second in the conference in the NFC North. The Packers are second. So definitely want to beat the Packers because it's a rival game and we want to get some space between the two teams. Yeah, like I said, they play this Sunday. Then the Bears and the Packers play again on December 20th, which today that game just got flexed to the primetime slot instead of the mid-afternoon game. So now that game is going to be on national television, and that game will be in Chicago. Uh, the Bears and the Packers always play twice a year, but it's usually like a game at the beginning of the season and a game towards the end of the season. But for some reason, they play both games towards the end of the season in December, with the games being 2 weeks apart. So
Mm.
uh, I've been hearing a lot of trash talk from a lot of Packers fans.
Understandable.
Yeah, like I said, I have a long-standing bet with one of my coworkers that whichever team wins, you know, the other person owes them a Reese's cup. Nothing big. I'm not. I'm not a betting man myself. So,
Understandable. Me
but
neither.
yeah, I've been hearing it everywhere. I hear it at the gym I play basketball with on Mondays. I heard it at the gym last night. I heard it from my barber this morning. I was like, come on, man. As soon as I walked into the barber shop this morning, he was like, yeah, yeah, get it out the way. Y'all finna lose. I'm like, I didn't even say nothing yet. I was gonna tell you good morning. Like, so yeah, so it's a big game. I hope the Bears get the win so I can come on here next Wednesday with a big ass smile on my face. But yeah, let's go Bears. Go Bears. Also, I don't have any notes on this at all. I just want to touch on this right quick. Uh, who did they play?
There's
Shador?
Patriots.
No, Shador,
Oh,
Cleveland,
I think they
San
played.
Francisco. They played San
Yeah,
Francisco.
49ers.
Yes, Shador had his second start. Unfortunately, the Browns lost that game. Uh, I watched just a small fraction of it, but what seems to be the big controversy now is that Jerry Judy, wide receiver for the Cleveland
Yeah.
Browns, he was seen over there talking to Shador, and they start clapping to him, and then at one point, because they're looking at the tablet, Shador standing up, he's like pointing, showing him something, and uh, a lot of people is giving Jerry Judy crap about that, like former players. Was James Jones, a former wide receiver for the Green Bay Packers? I saw a
Hmm.
video of him. He was like, Shador is a rookie. This is his second start. Like, you need to be helping the young fella instead of over there clapping in his face. He was like, I didn't see you do that with the other quarterbacks.
Exactly. You didn't do that with that Gabriel, man.
You didn't do it to Gabriel. You didn't do it to Flacco. Like, why are you doing it now? And then I was like, you need to chill because you got the most drops in the NFL. Like,
Mm.
I think he has like 9 drop passes, if I remember what I heard. So they're like, yeah. So I thought that was interesting. And then Dilly Gabriel's, I don't know if it's his wife, fiance, or girlfriend, but she was on the internet typing stuff on there talking about how most of the people want to see uh, Daniel as the quarterback and yeah, yeah, yeah. So it's just a
Unless
lot of
these people are invisible, I don't know what you're talking about. Because I
yeah,
ain't seen
yeah,
one Dylan Gabriel jersey out there
yeah.
in the
So
stands.
it's just a lot of stuff going on in Cleveland. So I say I don't have
Yeah.
that in any of my notes. I just want to touch on that before
I don't think he had a great game this
he
game.
yeah, he didn't.
He did a couple passes. One of them, he had dude open. It was a little high, but it didn't look like he even reached out and tried to grab it. And I was
Yeah,
like, that could have been on both of y'all because he was wide open.
yeah.
So, but he's
Yeah.
still a rookie. This is second game. Like,
Mhm. Yeah, they lost 26-8. I do know
nah,
he did throw that touchdown for them to get that the one touchdown
yeah.
they scored. I happened to be watching the game at that time. Uh so yeah, I'm trying to see if I could quickly see what his stats
And the
were.
49ers defense is pretty decent right now, right?
I guess. I don't know. I don't
Mhm.
honestly. If we're not talking about the
Understandable.
Bears, I really don't.
Understandable. All
Nah.
right.
Yeah.
All right. So we got a I think it was some Italian showcase at some Italian showcase. They showed um this giant poster of Avengers Doomsday, and they showed like it looked like either the main cast or the main people you'll see in the movies. Um, there's still probably going to be surprises in the movies because it's an Avenger movie. It's a big Avenger movie, but they showed us the predominant main cast. I assume, of course, they had. the Russo brothers in a big square on the side, and then on the other side, in between all the other characters, they had Robbie Downey Jr. in a square just as big as the Russo brothers, and their pictures up there. Within the middle of that, they had I'm gonna go uh from left to right. They had Mr. Fantastic, Sue Storm, Thor, Ant Man, Winter Soldier, Black Widow, the Florence Pugh Black Widow. They had Professor X. Who's that lady? Oh, Mystique. Then next level down. They had um, not the Flash, the Human Torch, the Thing, Loki, Anthony Mackie's Captain America, and who is this guy? They had Bob, who was in Thunderbolts. They had Ghost. They had what is that? What's the dude from the dancing dude? Chad and Tatum has Gambit. They had Cyclops, and then I forget it. That's all I remember. That's how I was introduced to him. He was dancing. And then the last level, they had Letitia Wright, who is Black Panther, who's the Black Panther right now. They had Umbaku. They had Namor. They had Falcon, who is the second Falcon now. I forget his other name in the movie. They had Shang-Chi. They had Agent. Is it American Agent? I think that's his name. He tried to be Captain America and he did weird stuff. And then they have Red Guardian, and then they have Nightcrawler, the OG Nightcrawler, and then they have Beast, the OG Beast. OG Nightcrawler is played by Alan Cumming, and OG Beast is played by who's the dude from Frasier?
Frazier. Oh,
The guy, what's his name?
Kelsey Grammer.
Kelsey Grammer, and then they had Magneto at the very end. So this is assuming this is supposed to be the main cast. Of course, I didn't see Monica Rambeau in that main cast because she is on the X Men's Earth right now. So I would have liked to see her in the main cast. I'm a little upset they didn't show her, but I get why they have. Technically, they will be the new Avengers, which is Ghost and Winter Soldier and Bob. They're there. Of course, Fantastic Four is supposed to be coming in this movie, but then they have the OG X Men in there, which is really gay, really great. Wow, I don't say gay.
Oh, whoa.
Really great. I don't know why I said that. That was weird.
You might gotta edit that out.
Dude, leave it in. But and then to have Shang-Chi in there, and then is it Shang-Chi or Shang-Chi? I say it either way. But the weird thing is to have Loki in there. I'm really interested in why they have Loki in this main cast and what he is going to be doing in it. I get he is kind of a universal god right now. Um, so maybe he's doing something with the time or being able to jump through universes and different timelines. That could be make sense there. But this is what they showed. Of course, we know this is not going to be the set main cast, and there's other people still in this movie. But this is the start of the rollout of their big advertisement for this movie. Like I said a couple podcasts ago, most likely we will have a teaser trailer, if not a full trailer, in front of Avatar 3. So this is one of their small rollouts to let people get excited and start um, putting theories out there and doing videos and podcasts about what's coming and all that good stuff. I am very excited. In the last podcast, we told you that Kelsey Grammer, not Kelsey, this is Kelsey Grammer, talked about working with Pedro Pascal on set. So we know for sure Beast and Mr. Fantastic will be together in scenes. That is kind of cool because they're both really intelligent characters, and seeing them have to work something out, that would be really cool to see. But yeah, as they start ramping up, I'm starting to get excited, more excited for this movie, even though it's still a year away now. It's a year. Oh, it's only a year away. That's really crazy to think of. So in a year, we will be talking about Doomsday. Um,
I got a quick question
yeah,
for you.
go ahead.
Go, you sure?
Yeah,
I
no,
don't
go
want you to
ahead.
lose your thought. Um,
I got it locked in. You good?
okay. So I know usually this time of year there's like always, isn't it? Usually some superhero movie that usually come out this time of year, right? Is that correct?
So lately, DC usually has a Christmas superhero movie.
Yep.
Um, Marvel, this would be their spot for either, well, not Marvel, I mean Disney. This would be their spot for their like Star Wars or Avatar.
Okay.
Those properties they have are their
Yeah.
big like Thanksgiving. They just had their big animated movies, Utopia 2, which I
I
watched.
heard.
It was pretty good. It was
I was
pretty
gonna
good.
say I heard that was good. Yeah.
It was good. It was pretty just as good as the first one. Just as interesting. Um, some people said some weird stuff was happening. I don't recall that, but people always make something out of nothing. So it is what it is. I ain't gonna repeat what they even said. But usually Disney has their. This is where they kind of pull away from superhero stuff, and it's more of their other properties like Star Wars or Avatar
Yeah.
or the animated stuff. That's where they pump these here. Their superhero stuff is usually in February and either the beginning or the tail end of summer.
Okay.
Um, DC has recently been having their superhero stuff in Christmas during Christmas time in December. Like they had their first Aquaman movie came out in December and that made $1 billion. They did
Yeah.
another movie in December. I forget. I think it was. I want to say that the second Wonder Woman, but I could be wrong. But they did the second Aquaman in December, and it didn't do as well as the first one, and
Mhm.
now they kind of took in a break and only did one movie this summer since they whole doing a whole reboot of their whole universe and whatnot. So yeah, um,
And I just got one.
speak.
I got
Go
just
ahead.
got
Go
one
ahead.
follow up question, and I'll let you go. As a kid or even as an adult, did you ever go to the movies like for Christmas or Thanksgiving to see any that you remember, like even now?
As I don't remember as a kid, closer to as a teenager. I remember going to the movies uh after Christmas
Hmm.
during Christmas break. And
Yeah.
I think one time during Thanksgiving, we went to the movies after Thanksgiving, the day after. Um, like I took my kids to the movies after Thanksgiving this year to go see Zootopia 2. Like we went Friday. So I
Yeah.
do remember doing that
Hmm.
um, more in the teenage years, not in the kid. Did you do that?
No, no, never. Like
He
no,
said,
no,
no,
we're not doing.
no,
No,
real
not.
quick.
I never. If we watch a movie, it was in the house. Had big family over. It like you know during the day it's a lot of family over.
Mhm.
So like usually later in the day or evening when it starts to mellow out a little more, then they might throw a movie on to watch as a
Hmm.
family. But no, never. No.
Yeah, now that I think about it, I think we did the same thing last year. No, it was maybe 2 years ago because we went to go see Spider Man Into the Spider Verse with the kids and family. Only reason I remember this as much because we sat front row. Like we were
Oh,
front row.
was
I
the
was like,
the
I'm never doing this again.
was the theater packed, or y'all was in
It
the
was
front?
packed. It was
Okay,
packed. The theater was packed, and it was a last minute decision to do it.
yeah,
Um, so and at this point, you could buy your tickets, and you have to sit in the seat you pick. Like at that
okay,
point,
yeah,
so you couldn't just hopefully get seats. Now you had to sit in the seat, and that was front row was the only thing open. And I
mm,
was like, all right. I was like this the whole time. Like, never doing this again. Nope,
yeah.
never doing this again. And then there was this annoying kid next to me was I don't want to say he was a fan, but it seemed like he was more upset to be there because he started
Uh-huh.
kind of yelling at the screen here and there. And I was like, hey, come on.
Yeah.
I'm already in the front row. Now you got this yelling kid here. What are we doing? It is a kid's movie, but still, it was kind of annoying.
Okay. No, I understand.
Kind
I'm not. I don't like kids. I don't like other people's
of
kids. It's just me. I'm not going.
understandable.
I'm not gonna go on that rant. I can't.
Understandable. But also they talked about people are talking about the way uh, the actors are kind of positioned in this picture or on the kind of poster board they put up of the people, and some of them are kind of grouped off into together. So people are thinking those are going to be their groups of who they're with. But then some people are upset about why certain characters are higher than other characters. And
Oh,
it's like, do they have a better agent that gave them better space on this little poster thing? Are that person is a higher tier of actor within the Marvel universe? Are their characters more important? So there's a lot of that going on too. It's a lot of people surmising things and not knowing, but throwing kind of little bit of coal into the fire, trying to figure out what's going on. Just trying to raise people, get them upset about something, and pretty much.
now now I
Um,
gotta look this up. 'Cause now I need to see the picture.
there is different color backgrounds with each person. Like
What
from
What should I type in Google to find this picture?
so you're not going to be able to find the picture. It
Oh,
would be
okay.
better to I'll send you a text. I'll text you the video, a video
Okay.
where you can see the picture.
All right.
Um, but like it is. I don't know if we're gonna find out why they have different color backgrounds. Because some people have a blue background, some people have a yellow background, some people have an orange background, and some people
Oh,
have a like kind of dark
oh, they did
background.
this. They did this on purpose. Get the
Yeah,
people talking.
it's
Get the people
clearly
talking.
done, but they're not in like costume. They're just like
Yeah.
pictured like they're regular. It would have been kind of
Uh,
cooler to be in costume.
yeah.
So people are definitely gonna ask questions about it and have theories on it.
Super analyze it and everything.
Yeah, yeah. Which I understand. That's what they want people to do. I totally
Mhm.
get it. That's how you get people into your stuff, wanting to know about it. I pushed the wrong button. But it makes perfect sense to do that. But yeah, I am like I said, I'm starting to get excited about what's going on, and I want to see what the story is and what they end up doing in this story, and start to see some people in costumes. I'm really waiting to see Robbie Downey Jr. dressed as Doom. Uh, Honestly, I know that's what a lot of people are hoping to see and want to see that in this first trailer. I don't know if it's gonna be in the first trailer. Fingers crossed it is, so we actually fully see it in motion and everything. But yeah, I'm hoping this is the start of Marvel's resurgence to get people back into their content and back into their movies and get back on the right track of what people want to see in their movies. I like their movies. Fantastic Four movie wasn't that great to me, but mm, everything else was pretty decent to me. I like the direction they were going. They definitely need their shows to catch up to, so we'll see. They said they were going to stop producing so much. They were going to reduce how many movies they put out and how many shows they put out. Hopefully, that would get them back up to quality instead of just having quantity. So, only time will tell. But guys, let us know in the comments down below if you saw the picture. What do you think? What are your theories about why people are placed where they are? And what are you more excited to see? And who are you excited to see interact with each other in these movies? Um, but yeah, go ahead and sign us out, Marcus.
Uh, yeah, this was a good episode. I'm sorry,
This was longer than I thought it was gonna be too.
yeah, I'm sorry. I jumped in on
No,
your
no,
topics and
these are good
extended them,
questions.
extended them, and then I kind of went on a rant or two. My bad.
Hey, that's what it's supposed to be. Us talking, having fun, and talking. Us
Yeah,
learning about different stuff. So
yeah,
it
but
is what it is.
yeah, but yeah. Um, like and subscribe to the episode. Hit the link in the description. Check out all our social medias. Uh, leave us a voicemail. If you got a question, you want us to talk about a certain topic, we'll try our best. Go Bears! I gotta say that. I gotta get that in there. Or if nothing else. Yeah. I just want to say this to you. Shout out to you, Sammy, for being a great role model in the community. Um, thank you for all you done for the city. You doing all your work during the holiday season, keeping everybody safe outside on the roads because some horrible fucking drivers around here. I tell you that.
Very true.
It's horrible.
Very true.
Um, yeah. Like, subscribe, share the video with family, friends. Um, that's all I got. Have a good night. We'll see y'all next week.
All right. Peace.
Peace.